Hello, Watch Party friends. It's Tenrek and Keg here with North American Challengers Split 3 going into group stage number 2 for today. 16 different teams trying to qualify for 8 playoff spots for the tournament that'll take place next week for one of the most massive prize pools in the North American offseason. Keg, it's so great to be back here with you.
I know, it's been, 9,000 years? I've been cryo-frozen this whole time, so, I mean, I just got de-thawed. I was happy enough that on the TV, as the ice was coming down from me, I saw you and Ravish hold the line yesterday. But I will say, man, so before we get into things, right, of course, we have a really awesome matchup to go into. We were having a big debate in the green room, and I'm really curious to what your thoughts were about Winthrop's entire success yesterday.
Oh, yeah, whether it was kind of like a fluke or an upset or more of like a favorite performance actually performing.
Yeah.
I mean, truthfully, after watching that Winthrop squad, I think that's everything that people expected out of like the Winthrop when you describe them. Like when you talk about the kind of duelist that Infiltrator is, or like you talk about the kind of chemist, or you talk about the kind of ability to consistently lurk that Moobs has and like his aim. I think that all really coalesced yesterday in the right way. And I'm excited to see them do it all over again tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next week in the top 8 tournament. Same with TSM. Glad they were able to come out swinging in that lower bracket run and make their spot known after that tough upset to Winthrop. But still, we have our Group B today, which will be YFP Gaming and Maryville University taking each other on in the opening match over on our Knights Arena B stream. So again, if you have the extra monitor, extra RAM, please go check that out. But over here, we have the Pugstack and Fun Havers, recently rebranded, often imitated, never duplicated, against the brand spanking, shiny, clean, and new MXS roster. Very exciting matchup, very exciting rosters that we get to pay attention to here, Keg.
Big reason why I brought up Winthrop before we got into this matchup. You hit 2 very important points. The duelist and the lurking factors.
Yes.
Micro plays and the neon that both teams are rocking here. Very important mainstays for not only this patch, but for the entirety of Challengers. A lot of teams have been rocking neon. I bet you cannot guess why. But that might inflate a lot of these teams' success. Winthrop had been the longest standing structured roster in this entire tournament. Moist can't say the same. They just rebuilt from the ground up. And Fun Havers, frankly, more, besides a freak accident, I suppose you could say, for Fluffy Aimers, they weren't supposed to be here. But now Practo pushes up, right? Seemingly by themselves, Corrupt there with a flash from behind. Both these teams have a game plan in mind, Tenrek. It's Spaz to find the opening pick of the series. This Corrupt forced the back away. There's a lot of pressure here on this lurk too. Keep an eye on the communication, Tenrek. These rotates and how well practiced MXS can bounce off of each other is the trust factor that Sean has put into these teams going into this matchup to make it far.
And they'll fully commit to their entry on C site. And the pistol, Paint just gonna full-on bloody enter and full-on bloody commit. Everybody from MXS showing out and able to win that matchup. There's our lurk that we were waiting for. It's Pancakes over from that Fame squad. That's able to make that final impact for the MXS roster, who decided to pick the attack half to start out on this Haven first map that Fun Havers let go after Abyss and Sunset were banned. It'll be Pearl as our second map and Bind as our decider.
Thank you for mentioning that too, because this has been Fun Havers' best map so far in the qualifiers to get to this point to the group stage, right? They've won it 6 out of 7 times, which is great. That tells me there's a game plan in mind. The IGLing's looking good for Fun Havers. They have set strats and they know how to mid-round. MXS, again, they're a team that haven't been around as long. This is not the map you want to test that out on in your first official as this team. But again, it comes down to that trust factor. The set strats and the macro must be in place for Moist to be able to challenge this map and go into Pearl next, frankly. A very similar map that requires a lot of very precise attacking mid-rounding. But as we can see, Owl Drone goes down, a cleared C site. Fun Havers want to retake on C. Moist, they have to have those angles and tradability here to win this next round.
And we'll see what damage they can do. Fun Havers squad, couple of rigorous puggers, gotta say. I mean, some of these players are working on like 2 different teams. Krako's working 2 different games. He's on the Shmee Shmesh Shmoosh team for University of Virginia. Paint
Yeah, I went to
in a league of his own. And then I think it's Corrupt, right? Who's on YFPX as well.
Yes. Yeah, GC representation here. Very nice to see from FunHackers. And again, this is not a round designed for FunHackers to win. I like the idea of attempting to avoid the retake. One body loss from MXS, no big deal. Rifles were already in the hands of Spaz, a player that everyone's been overjoyed to see have the opportunity to join Moist. This is where the fun quite literally really begins.
Yeah.
So full rifles are out now. A lot of Vandals and only one Phantom for FunHackers. That might seem so innocuous, but when you have the likes of Paint, Pancakes, and Spaz all having vision blocking utility, we're not going to see a lot of spam through without tracers. Call's been made from FunHackers to block out B. Usually that's the call to either Paranoia, maybe even stun and rush in with that Neon. But instead, FunHackers are almost just brazenly swinging this. Okay, maybe it's not so brazen.
Maybe, yeah.
Taking their sweet time
They'll slow down
swing.
a little bit this time around.
That's good, though. MXS are working the map, and BCJ opens it up with ZK falling. A defensive Neon falling first isn't the biggest deal in the world, but now you don't have that aggressive space. That's the reason why you like to bring out Breach on this map. Actually, pretty much all the maps we've seen so far in group stage. You flash, you have the Neon, dash and slide. Nobody could counter that.
We'll run in.
Case in
there you
point.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, Pain's been absolutely wild.
Is he gonna go for it again?
Him and BCJ should be this dynamic duo. I mean, BCJ was recently on M80. He's been grinding other games as well. He finally falls. Tim is good for a double, right? But with 2 left alive, Spaz doesn't have a rifle. It's just a sheriff.
I love seeing these blind pickups from into MXS after that roster kind of was teetering in the last split. I gotta say, Sean, you certainly can't pick him. This is such a fun and exciting makeover of a roster.
It's an odd couple situation too. Like if I in my mind, I would never expect all 5 of these players to play together.
Absolutely not. Yeah, like right Pancakes on this roster especially feels so alien, but he is so welcome on this, in my opinion, as the Sentinel pick. I think he's been often, unfortunately, kind of not able to really perform to his strengths as often with the team chemistry that he's gone through in previous splits of Challengers on all of the teams he's been on. He's been everywhere, man. But with Spaz on the controller, Paint leading the charge here, feels so appropriate all of a sudden.
Yeah, man, FunHackers are getting conditioned and playing retake simulator round after round. They have that bouncing economy. Their rifle round didn't find a lot of impact. They weren't able to take away the economy from MXS. Said though it's a dash back in, a full util dump. Any which way you look, man. Even then, Pancakes, as you mentioned, the 4K meltdown. BCJ's there to clean it up. Already, if there's a time you want to test the team, a brand new one at that to see how well they can communicate and have those set strats, 4-0 to start off a brand new Moist Shopify roster is a great start, dude.
Yeah, FunHackers playing the role of a welcome mat very well in these first 4 rounds.
Oh no, you can't give them that.
Sorry, guys. But
I mean, that's where we were at though in the green room. Is that like FunHackers are gonna have a lot to stack up against them, right?
Yeah, this is David and Goliath right here for sure. MXS arguably the 1 seed walking into this tournament with, you know, the resume that they're clocking. Despite the fact that they have some of the least airtime out of all 16 teams in this entire tournament.
They've had 0 airtime. This is literally their first official series. They just announced their roster a few days ago. Oh, ZK has the op too. A Neon reapproaching the retake on C with an op of all things is going to be so tough. If I'm FunHacker here, I'm already considering the save.
Cage triggered.
It's quite possible. Maybe you want to try and lure out an ult here. Try and force BCJ to Rolling Thunder. The spam ball to Spaz is good. They're going to try and clear Spaz so they can at least get 1, and they will. Shoot through the cubes enough. Fractal will get the crack, and a Paranoia down to lane. FunHackers are going to go for this. And they'll have some good backing behind it. Rolling Thunder forced away. Lane cleared. Practo. Hunter Burst Fury, good for 2, but Spike isn't held down, and Pancakes is still alive and kicking. Zeke's in the cubby, Pancakes clears that, blast, headshot, but not killed. And Funhavers do have enough time, space, and players to get one on the board.
Yeah, happily wrong there. Funhavers, great game plan in mind. The best case scenario for Funhavers here, their singular advantage going into this series is going to be them taking advantage of the fact that MXS, again, have not had a lot of time to play together. Set strats are one thing, the micro plays in the post plant or another. Whether it be the positionings or playing off your teammates, right? There was a lot of misplays from MXS in that small amount of time. A great retake, and as you mentioned, a great force out too for the Rolling Thunder, nulled away. MXS are going to keep going back to A site though. Less opportunities to get that proper funneling in space for a retake.
Paint's gonna fully bite the bullet. Practo ready for it here. Steps into it, knowing that short sight is no doubt coming behind him. Pancakes will re-clear, and Funhavers don't want to take any more risks before the post plant, especially considering that Zeke is miles away. So they'll just play for intel, play for some chip potentially here with these shock darts that Practo's going to let fly as well, since their position in particular is known. Yeah, MXS trying to extend this enough, but with the spike down, they don't necessarily have to. Pancakes is just going to step past the cage, and with the help of the blind, he has a free swing, but Blast can spray through, and Funhavers, very good game sense, expecting these simple plays that normally are good for free kills, but instead, they'll spray it down, they'll expect the swings, and they're locked in for these counter plays. 2 on the board here for Funhavers.
Love the timing of the retake from Funhavers there. Their comfortability finally setting in. They had less bodies on the frontwards end of B for that retake, and Zeki was just waiting for the longest time off that trip being destroyed. Pancakes is obviously aware that there has to be a flank once he hears the util brought out, but it was just the timing of Zeki still waiting for that extra pressure, all eyes focusing on Blast and Tim for that retake. To bring in that Neon ult separated out MXS so much and did not allow tradability. It's a stack up on A now from Funhavers.
Here.
They're going to go for the paranoia, the recon backlines, do what they can to slow down MXS. They're getting those proper reads at the start here, and that's a great thing for them to have. Just a matter of shutting the lanes down. And any which way MXS goes, there will be some opposition.
Tim flushed out with the aftershock to start. MXS need to take space off of that trade, but they won't decide to take lane. Instead, they'll try to take B door. Unoccupied site. They're going to advance this. They do have the space to do it, but they'll have to use a little util, and Pain is going to decide to press Link a little bit. That was dangerous considering Pancakes is still in sewer, but is able to find Corrupt on the back out. And nobody from Funhavers can approach this. They really tried to poke at it too. I think they kept their distance the right way, but MXS just barely able to extend in.
Yeah, and that lurk up the Neural Theft gives full information now for MXS to know it's a two-way retake crunch. Shock darts available. Already expelled from Funhaver's side. They're on Spike. The smokes are in the way, but you can spray through.
They've been doing that the whole time. Blast gonna try and enter. Zek holding down with the op of all things. This is a big fight slowdown, and yeah, one miss and your entire team's gonna get cleared. MXS will have no trouble dealing with the rest of this. Practo can only play for kills, and they will only get one. So, back on the board for MXS here, Funhavers. B-site, it's such a tough funnel to retake, especially with the operator, so good shot calling from MXS to change course.
Yeah, having B space to retake is certainly no easy feat. You put down one smoke, you could spray right through it. MXS had the right idea of playing together in small funnel of B. Of course, covering the flanks too has only been something that Zeke has done. And when you have your frontlining Neon waiting on B round after round, you don't really have to worry about a flank as much. But I like this additional pressure that MXS is bringing out in the first 2 seconds of a round. They wait for that utility dump, get some inkling of an idea where Funhavers want to begin to reapproach space. And they haven't found much yet. No recon. Spotted at least from Practo right away. It's already been dissipated. It's a default instead from Moist. The Paint's picked up this op, and that's going to slow down the Neon quite a bit. The space created off of Paint up until now hasn't been the biggest value in the world, so I do like this change of pace. It's almost making Funhavers be the ones to take the aggression.
Yeah. And they did, but just for a moment, to kind of just play that out.
They forced a rotate to
Yeah,
C.
cut to the chase. Give us the next play. We're tired of this one. Again, well taken by Funhavers, without any collateral lost. They are very disciplined this game so far. MXS still have the firepower, though. They still have...
towards C.
Yeah, they have everything under the sun here, and they will force the swing back from Funhavers. They will force the uncertainty. And with a util dump from both initiators on C lane, either you wait yourself, or you'll lose that collateral. Practo is going to stick it, and does find Pancakes kind of overstepping. But it's because Paint is now the one holding onto this operator. And Tim, perfect jump peek. Everything's going to explode. And Funhavers, they have more players on. Spaz has to prio the TP, but he gets to hell and can open up at least one. But Brock is gone, and there's no time on the clock. MXS, they have to commit to the plan with the fast lane to try to cover fire. But Corrupt can stall and get some bloody good headshots in. In the meantime, Funhavers stall, get the thrifty, get the timeout, get everything they need that round.
You gotta give major props to Funhavers there. They did not fall for the fake rotate whatsoever.
Perfect.
I know, and you would expect, right? We are the all-seeing omniscient eye. The smokes had gone down directly on Garage. There was the stun brought out towards C. A lot of very valuable utility that wasn't there for A-Site to sell this fake. And that something for Funhavers was like, no, we can't overcommit. We always need to have some sort of presence. We had that lockdown on A. Cypher can stay on C all the time, but someone's always got to stay on the other side, and that itself won the round for Funhavers. They are able to full buy yet again. Their economy is still in a very bad spot. They can't lose this next round.
They found my wire?
A recall again.
Yeah.
This is a good test to see what the IGLing looks like for a team like Moist. You have 3 sites to work with, a lot of rotate values. Defense teams have to spread themselves thin. That's why they've given up C site. Owl Drone, though, gives a massive tell. Someone's got to stay near C, though. Spaz has from the shadows. He can go anywhere on the map. It's a good thing no one did move. MXS are reorienting towards B main. There's no tripwire. Just a singular cam that hasn't been spotted.
Start to try to crunch Garage. Taking quite some time here, but Blast will get cleared. Able to step into B, but don't seem to be entirely confident in this pathing, so they'll reorient back to main and make sure that A-Link is cleared, which
30 seconds
it is. Zeke and Practo keeping their distance until the Rolling Thunder comes through on the plant hold. Now it's counteracted by a Rolling Thunder from BCJ as well. But yeah, they don't get much of anything. Funhavers can just enter in. Brock, the only one to get one. Paint, the only one with a rifle. Funhavers make it work again.
Funhavers haven't had to change their strategy.
Yeah.
They forced out BCJ's Rolling Thunder and it missed. I mean, happenstance, luckiness, I suppose, for Funhavers. Corrupt had such a great ult, brought out to stall the team, the pressure from the Neon right after, selling information. That is an ult BCJ should not have lost, and that's going to hurt a lot. If I'm MXS, I'm considering a timeout, and there it is.
Yeah.
Again, this is their first series official. And while they have the set strats down, again, they're going to falter in these small micro plays. Bringing out the ult like that, not finding the timing, not focusing on the priority of the Neon entering sight in the retake already. These are small things that Funhavers can and will capitalize on.
I gotta say that pre-rounding from MXS, or that pre-planting, was really well done. They were already forcing Blast and Tim to cycle. Tim's smoke was stuck in Garage perpetually that entire round until they actually decided to press B in Garage. And yet, I mean, obviously the gun diff plays a gigantic role in that post plant, but yeah, it really does come down to if BCJ hits that ult or not, honestly.
Yeah, and again, with a lack of info, you send the ult out on C link, you don't know what's on the A link side.
Yeah.
That was a panic.
Especially when you were already taking so much caution around A link in the first place,
It was
too.
a panic post plant. You're just trying to secure the round and keep this tie up ahead. I don't even think this timeout is for strategic purposes. It's just making sure MXS can keep their bearings together
they had to
for a bit
meditate.
more. Okay. Default out now, a great change of pace. And again, I'm not worried about the macro for Moist whatsoever. They have a good game plan in mind round after round. It's just how you play off of each other is, again, FunHaver's win condition throughout this entire series. A good example of this is really going to be how TSM played against Winthrop yesterday. They looked so shaky in that first series. But by the end of yesterday against Ambrosia, they looked great, and Brock gets the opening pick. That's huge. Blast falls next. A spike plant goes down yet again. Keep FunHavers on their toes. Funnel them into one position. It worked to your strength, the gunplay. But even that's not working, Tenrek. It's a 2v2. Spike has not gone down.
Tim with that TP back to the podium forced all 3 reps of Brock's Hunter's Fury, and so they couldn't pressure C-Link early on into that pre-plant, so they had to stick some people in front of it, and they could not win the peaks yet again. Like you said, Spike now stranded, and Spaz back in the same spot he's had to be holding this entire game whenever he's on the C post plant. No way FunHavers don't know where this guy is without the smoke, and so MXS forced to stall back. 30 seconds on the clock. We are back here, and Practo is not present at the moment, so Zeke does have to hold this. But the fast lane, oh, Spaz, okay.
Did that buy
good
time?
Switch up, and we'll duck back into Link. They should be good from here. Brock has a recon as well to stall back. Spaz can TP fake. Practo does have a lot of util here, though. Could take the fight early. That's what they'll do.
Yeah, I mean, you want to push this. At least take a fight. Time is not on your side, and you have no information. That recon, the owl drone available, and Practo uses nothing. That recon won't find a whole lot.
There's just too much.
Great round. It was a scary one for a second there, but MXS, they got their bearings together and they played together as a group in the post plant. I mean, realistically there, Zeke could have tried to buy more time, but the push-up from MXS had too much pressure against the Neon.
Yeah.
MXS is good for the half now. At the very least, it needs to be tied up by FunHavers. I am worried about FunHavers when it comes to their own attack. Same exact reasons why for Shopify. What is the IGLing going to look like? How well together are the set strats going to be?
Right.
MXS, they played a very nice early round, right? But now, if they feel pressured to execute and get that spike down to play post plants, it puts more of the onus on FunHavers.
It's true. They'll be able to isolate when they can spring the trap far more often.
I like the lurk, though.
The clock will be on their side a lot more, too. This is, yeah, Pancakes has been clocking in on this pretty often and cashing out just about as much. Until dip into the well again. Almost find promise at first. Practo, oh, get out of there, buddy. Okay, fault line to back him out. But Pancakes, he sees that as the moment that he can pressure the offense and sell the 5-stack. Just kidding, they're here now.
Great call here to double down from FunHaver's side. Deny the entry right away if they can.
Yeah, let's hold it down. They questioned it for a second, but they're going to just hold him the back. Wait for this util to come through. Pancakes the dry swing. Can't find Corrupt, but Zeke is in town. And that means that Paint can't fully swing until the other Neon's taken care of. Zeke hears the overdrive and decides to step back. Wait for that to time out. Wait for MXS to get the spike down, and it'll be a 3v3 post plant.
Anti-lurk set up 2 from Blast, expecting someone from B main that will never come. Paint has overdrive, waiting for the swing, but it runs out.
Give it 3v2 for an instant here till they sell the sewer. Blast is gonna ult. Just go for it. Have certainty on this last member in Spaz. Smoke dancing pretty well. Okay, we're good. Never count that man out, but they have enough to work with. FunHavers make it 5-6.
Spike the fuse.
Yeah, Moist right now are just not committing to working the map. I like the lurk early on from Pancakes, but not being able to take down Practo and still calling for the rotate.
Yeah, to pile drive on that was a little confusing to me.
I get the idea. You're hoping to out-rotate FunHavers, right? You've been able to consistently win A up until now. But FunHavers are going to double down here. They have the right read. And they're going to go for the Paranoia stun setup to promote Zeke to just slide dash through A long.
Right.
And delete whoever they can get into A lobby.
Oh, Zeke is going to get up close and personal this time. They hear him. Oh, are they ready for it, though? Paint, the swing, the slide. Even Neons aren't ready for the Neons, bro. Tim, early swing from Sewer as well. Funhavers really getting up there with this one. They were ready for the stack, and they were ready to fight it closer than MXS wanted to, as it appears. But it doesn't look too positive. Yeah, Brock still now holding it down, and MXS have all the positional power in the world. Too much uncertainty in Practo, can't check the boxes. MXS, all of a sudden, it's a 4v1.
Scatter.
The mad dash around the world. This will be the greatest clutch of all time if Blast can pull it off.
Caught one.
Funhaver's big weakness here is going to be the mechanical in a vacuum against Moist. A lot of these players have been to the major stages. It's going to be hard to out-aim them straight up. The rotates and just the overall game reads the Funhavers have had to get the drop on Moist to really catch them by surprise has given them 5 rounds.
Cage triggered.
But it looks like 7-5's the way to go, and swapping to the attack. It's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows for Funhavers on the attacking side. 7-5 is super healthy for Moist.
Absolutely.
Careful.
Like you said, a lot of uncertainty around how Funhaver's attack is going to go, how they'll be able to contain themselves.
Switching sides.
As the spike continues to go. And MXS, I mean, nobody's questioning their retake game, which is what they'll probably lean back on more than anything else. Util dumping with this BCJ paint combo.
Nice spot.
And Pancakes is going to be anchoring for a long time, so Funhavers, they'll have to do a lot of clearing anyway.
Yeah, but I feel like MXS are not going to allow map space to be gained by Funhavers. You know what I mean? Like, this is just going to be paint.
They'll just go full
Waddling.
denial mode, you think?
Yeah, he's just going to slide
okay.
and shoot, man. He's
All
just
right.
going to go for whatever.
Let's see it.
Look at the position for BCJ. He's going to stun a lobby and have that B hold right away. And that's just going to allow so much maximizing util for paint. The entirety of Moist's defense is going to be setting up this Neon to do pre-nerf Neon things. Yeah. I can't wait for that patch, man.
Yeah, which on that note, this tournament is in 5.09, in case you guys have not figured that out yet. So for all like the where's the Phoenix questions that whoever might be asking.
Where are my regen shields?
Yeah, where's my regen shield buy? Where's my raid boss?
Going out.
Just give it a little bit longer, buddy. It's okay.
I like this lockdown on C site though. Having that aggressive potential in A, not spawning a whole lot. Pancake's ready to play off his tripwire.
Down.
That tradability's got to be huge here. But they back away.
Yeah, that one smoke is enough.
Practo speed spotted!
Practo speed spotted!
No, but they already knew. The restraint here not to double down and push C is so disciplined from Funhavers. I wasn't expecting this. BCJ setting up for the anti-stun on the B rush off of any audio. Funhavers are gonna try to fake any sort of presence towards A, and
They're
not gonna fake the rotate.
Close enough at all. Yeah, there's no way they're gonna dip into this.
Oh, but there's only one body now on C. Spawn's already left. That's an opened up C site.
Good
Spawn's is late
read.
for the retrade. And they're gonna back out again?
What?
Wow.
Whoa! Whoa!
Wait,
Okay.
oh my God, wait.
This is cooking. Wait. There's smoke out of B
Funhavers
link.
looking better than Moist right now.
Oh, paints in though. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. MXS can just swing it anyway. They're so close to it. Good kills from Funhavers, but yeah, there's no time on the clock at this point. Dude, what a fun pistol round from Funhavers for sure. That was that was a cavalcade of great ideas, but unfortunately, B side is like 5 feet away from C side, so that plan is really tight. It's
Yeah.
really tough to execute that. But I love the idea on paper, and if you can kill paint on that swing in, if there was like a patch that maybe made it so your aim wasn't as like not corrected if you slid in his neon, then that plan would have been amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw when Moist were on the attack trying to sell that same A fake and it didn't work. But the discipline we're seeing from Funhavers now, if they can continue to have the same exact workings in the early and the mid rounds, this is going to be a tied game, man. Okay, good trade. No more smokes for Moist. I think I was wrong about Funhavers, dude. Because the way again, the discipline's been crazy. What's been happening with Moist is that once they started getting rounds snowballed against them, they would panic rush into an execute. I'm praying to whatever deities in the sky that Funhavers don't fall into that trap.
Cage triggered.
Corrupt is gonna just stick it.
Okay, 3 stack from Moist. ZK's waiting, 9 HP. He's just an info drone at that point. Paint again. All eyes need to be on him and is working with BCJ this half. And if you're Funhavers, you're just looking to grind up ults here.
Last player standing.
Yeah, I'll just... Oh. Okay. Yeah, everybody getting their share this time around. But like you said, continuing to surprise and offshoot and not, you know, spread thin. This is a team.
Gotta go.
Mad synergy.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that most people expected this team to kind of walk in as the 16 seed. I don't think I'm like super wrong. It's like like there were players that were saying that they don't expect Funhavers to show out in this group, which like understandable. It's there's Moistek, Shopify, and YFP in it. But
well, remember this. This is Funhavers' map pick. They were practicing for Haven.
That's a good point.
But again, this is the map you want to test out your in-game leading and how the mid-rounds operate on your attacking side.
Here.
And if Funhavers, they looked good on their defense doing it, if they don't crumble their mid-rounding, say 4 rounds in, this could be a very healthy map for them, regardless if they win or lose. Smoke is out now. Respect. A lot of it given now by Fun. They're not going to push it. And MXS are just waiting for the opportunity for them to refake background to A in the late game. Owl drone. Hidden away. Fracto does not clear spots. They think it's only Paint in A long.
Here.
Paranoia setup is out. But I think that's just an escape option.
Yeah.
No follow-up, really.
Doesn't need to. I think just force Funhavers to go for something disadvantageous again. Oh, but Blast is able to find Paint. Paint got greedy.
He did. Paint's gonna be greedy the entirety of this defense.
Yeah.
His pacing's so much more different from ZK.
You can just keep
Much
punishing
less
him, it'll be
safe.
fine.
30
Yeah, I mean,
seconds left.
if you keep making Paint think he can do whatever he wants and then
But
punishing
Paint
him.
wants ult. He has to play greedy.
Yeah. Oh, gun spotted. BCJ, no trouble there. Good gap on the smoke to continue pressuring. That gives time for Brock to show up. But again, Tim is locked in here. 13 seconds though. Yeah, everyone's here. This is cooked. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's gonna be the mechanical diff that helps carry MXS to victory here. 3 more rounds needed to bring things to map 2. Pearl between these two teams is gonna be an adventure and a half. Because you can absolutely fast exec on Pearl, especially B-site. But the countering there and the stall that you need is a very different ball game than Haven.
Yeah.
And so stretching MXS thin is definitely one thing you can do on this defense. And that's where Paint needs to come in. He's going to be on top of everything. The apex predator of this lobby. Anywhere you go, he's going to sink his teeth into that lane. And so any sort of starting info Moist can find is going to be a golden opportunity. Paint's already on the hunt.
See if he tries to circle this, but Funhavers are already in. Zeke spotting Pancakes. But Pancake's still very much alive. Oh boy, that's really rough, dude. Pancakes, you're insane. Pancakes, you're insane, dude. And rest of the team is here, but everyone else from Funhavers is still able to deal some decent damage. Practo, only one left, has a rifle versus Spaz and Brock. Oh, Brock chases him down though.
Oh, timeout should be called here from Funhavers.
This is again like this is some great experimentation from Funhavers, and like you said, we're seeing them just like veer from site to site. The trouble is with Pearl is that when Funhavers go for this again, this experimentation, they'll just like shuffle strat after strat after strat in front of a fight. Is that they're a lot weaker when they're doing that on the same site, and on Pearl, you're gonna have to be far more committal.
Well,
you can't just swap it up.
I think the correction that Funhavers need to make here is going to be the same thing they're going to run into attacking on Pearl. They need to work the map more.
Yeah,
we saw...
You need to work mid so hard in map 2. You need to work mid so hard.
But guess who's playing really out of position because they're Neon? That's Paint.
Yeah.
If we can see Funhavers remove Paint, even like 45 seconds at the latest into a round, and then exec off of that, Funhavers can absolutely tie this up. But as long as Paint has a presence in the server being that active, that's going to be a constant, just like, I don't even know what the comparison would be. That's going to be a consistent migraine for Funhavers to deal with.
Right here. Right here. Right here.
So yeah, I'm really curious to see what happens here, dude.
Yeah, when you have a player on your team who knows how to handle Neon so aggressively, it will become the forefront of every player's mentality in this patch.
I'm out of here. We're good.
The B rush.
Yeah. Let's see what he can find here.
B split into C.
Yeah.
Oh, are they
They're going for garage
down
control. I think they're gonna jump in a window here and try and crunch it, but Paint's already here. Yeah, relay bolt. He's able to just clear that back. Practo doesn't have a good angle. Paint's just better. Paint's so much better. Tim's able to hold outside of the smoke though, and they'll re-entry to B site with a little bit of space, but A-Link is still not re-cleared. They'll have to waste a little bit of util, and Tim's been found on the recon. Has to use that TP as well. Spaz now knows where both of these remaining players are, and the Rolling Thunder catches everyone on MXS but him. So it will come down to Spaz for the rest, but Tim can take down the Ditto. Corrupt still alive. Pancakes takes care of that. Tim almost full health against 2 remaining MXS players on the entry. Tim, beautiful first shot, but Brock can shoot right back through that smoke. And not enough movement between kills means MXS gets away with their 12th round.
Pressure point again. Paint. Unbelievable control of Garage. A 3K to eliminate the entire core of the post plan. Funhavers had no response once they were challenged in C-Link. The entire idea was to split from B site, fake its presence there, migrate to C, and then play the post plan very far up. Can't do that when you have a stack of MXS on site. Didn't work the map enough. Didn't have that information about how MXS wanted to start off that last round. A lockdown in A again. Moist believed that this should be a pivot to A side at the beginning of the round, if not later. Because you have 3 set up now on C and Garage, you're fully expecting to have a big rush here off of Paint. A great read again from Moist. I just pray that Funhavers don't play this too fast, and they are!
Blast, just walking right up after that first kill onto Spaz. Doesn't expect the double up. But Zeke is already very far up into Ling, so they're going to try and make this distance work with a B plant. No, it'll be a snake to A. They just keep thinking of new stuff, but this one might be far too open. Pancakes has the world at his fingertips, and 12 HP left. We'll double back into B site. Still a minute on the clock here. I mean, Funhavers, they don't have a problem with time, I will say that much, but they super got a problem with fighting at this point. They're almost just running from these MXS players. They look terrified. Out of context, in context, you really do see the vision, but I see a 5-13 on the scoreboard unless Tim clutches up in this 1v3. Everybody swarming Spike. First entry from BCJ is all
Defenders
Moist
win.
X Shopify needs. Map 1, go to the favorites.
Again, this was Funhavers' map pick. They were expecting to have maybe a little bit more opposition when it came to their first half, but unfortunately, again, the mid-round, it crumbles when you have a team that you need to be able to outstrat. And with the prestige that Moist Shopify have gained through their players over the years, now coming together with many different ideas, I'm sure right now, soon to form together as a gigantic stack, it's a very tough ordeal for a team like Funhavers to stack up against them.
Yeah, we'll see how they continue to gel. Only better with time, we can assume. But on Pearl, it'll be tough to watch that in action if MXS light up. We'll see if they do in Map 2 after this.